Hello, my friends. Well, here we are actually talking about communication in the workplace, which you've all been waiting for. But unfortunately, it's probably kind of anticlimactic because while the textbook has been talking about touchy-feely interpersonal communication, relationships, we've been applying all these great principles all along to workplace situations. So this is really just the icing on the cake. We're talking about the communication involved in finding and applying for a job, and interviewing for a job, and day-to-day communication with supervisors and coworkers, and hiring and firing, and all those kinds of things. So first, let's talk about cover letters. So important. I'm involved in about 3 different search committees right now, and cover letters. Spend a lot of time on them. That's where you tell the people in the organization why you are a good match for the position and why you would be an asset to them. It isn't just about you, it's really more about them and why you're the best candidate to work in their organization. Remember that you don't have to put everything into your cover letter. Usually 1, maybe 2 pages is good. All the bitter details can go into your resume and the interview. Just a couple of tips from my experience. First, the hiring committee would like to know that you have done a little bit of research. You don't want to sound like you're showing them up or anything, but you do need to demonstrate that you know a little bit about their organization. One interview I had, and I was offered the position, so I must have been doing it right. I met with the vice president over academics as part of the interview process, and he just started talking sports with me. And luckily, I had spent some good quality time on their athletics webpage, and I knew their teams and some of the results and some of the championships that they had won. And we kept this conversation going on, and that's all we talked about. We never mentioned the library even once, or what I would be doing there as part of the job that I was applying for. So make sure that you do your research and not just on the library. Second interview tip is be sure to ask questions. Be prepared with questions, lots of questions. You don't have to ask all of them, but every interview I've been a part of, we always give some time to the candidate and we say, well, what questions do you have for us? And when they say, nothing, nope, then that kind of indicates to us that they're not that interested in the position. Third, and this is very important, learn people's names. It can be difficult. I know I'm terrible with names, so I'm always writing down people's names. It's especially difficult when you have a phone interview and you don't have a face to match with the name. But it sends the message that you're interested in them, that you respect them, and that you care enough to remember what their names are. One thing to remember once you've had the job is that managers are looking for employees who are willing to do more. So make sure that you send this message to your manager. If you recall earlier in the semester we talked about image management. You have to manage your own image with your supervisor or with your manager. You have to be your own personal PR machine. You have to toot your own horn without being a jerk. In the text, this is very funny, there were about 2 paragraphs on communicating with coworkers. You really need a whole book on that, and there are lots of books out there about that topic. Basically, you just have to marshal all your communication competence, all you learn in this class, and then just cross your fingers and hope that it works out for the best. And as far as teams go, teams form and dissolve like bubbles on a mountain stream. We've talked a lot about teams already this semester, especially in our other Myers and Anderson textbook, but one of the biggest problems, in my experience, with the way that teams operate, whether they're a team or a task force or a work group or whatever, is that they kind of founder on that initial question of what are we supposed to be doing here? What is our purpose? So as you embark on a group assignment or a team assignment, make sure that everyone is clear on the outcomes and the objectives. And that way, that will help everyone work together more effectively. So that's about it. Now, one other thing, when it comes to meetings, have an agenda, stay on task, stay on target, have specific start times and end times. People will appreciate the fact that you respect their time. Okay, that's it. Any questions? Send me an email. Thanks. Have a great week.